All right, so my computer decided to update in the middle of the first video, so my apologies, but I believe we left off on this problem. So this problem is using the fact that if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, the diagonals bisect each other. So 2x plus 14 is equal to 5x minus 4, so we can set those equal to each other. And x is equal to 2y. So we found that x was equal to 6 and x is equal to 2y. So we can take 6 and substitute it in for x. Divide by 2 and you get y is 3. C. These opposite sides are equal to each other. So the top and bottom are equal to each other and the two sides are equal to each other. Since this has a y and this has an x, they have two different variables. I'm going to start by focusing on these two right here so I can figure out what x is equal to. So 4x plus 20 is equal to x plus 26. We can go through and solve this equation, subtract x from both sides, subtract 20 from both sides, and divide. I got 2. So we know that 7y is equal to 6x plus 9. That's something that we know. We just found that x is equal to 2, so I'm going to make a substitution into my problem since we know that x is equal to 2. And from here, I can solve this. So 7y is equal to 21, and 21 divided by 7 is 3. So we use the fact that those opposite sides are equal to each other, so we can set up two separate equations to figure out what x and y is equal to. D. D looks like a similar thought process as well. I know that these two are equal to each other, and I know that these two are equal to each other. So 4x is equal to 3x plus 5. Subtract 3x from both sides. I got x equals 5. And I also know that 2y minus 1 is equal to y plus 3. Solve the equation, subtract y from both sides, add 1 to both sides. Y is 4 and x is 5. So the equation part is nothing new. We've been doing that for a while. The only new piece is figuring out what to set equal to each other, whether to set it equal to each other or set it equal to 180. E. Now, this is one of the ones where we can set them equal to each other. Alternate interior angles are congruent to one another. So 2x is congruent to 30, and 24 is congruent to x plus y. So these are alternate interior angles that are congruent to one another. So 2x is equal to 30, x is equal to 15, and x plus y is equal to 24. We already know x is 15, so 15 plus y is equal to 24. Subtract from both sides, and we got 9. And last but not least, in our little journey here studying parallelograms, I got one last picture down here we're going to figure out. We want to figure out what y and x are. I know that these two angles are congruent to each other, so they're opposite, and in a parallelogram, the opposite angles are congruent to each other. So x is equal to 5. And if I'm trying to figure out what y is equal to, so if they're opposite each other, they're congruent. If they're beside each other, they're supplementary. So 5y plus 55 is equal to 180. So beside each other is 180. Across from each other is congruent. So 5y, we're going to subtract 55 from both sides. That give me 125. 125 divided by 5 is 25. So x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 25.